9 News at 5 starts right now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jennifer Meckles. We have some new details about a deadly plane crash near Centennial Airport earlier this month. 2 people were killed when a small plane went down shortly after takeoff. We now know that crash on September 5th, southeast of Aurora, happened during an instructional flight. 9 News reporter Evan Krugel has more on what experts say may have happened here.
2 weeks after a deadly plane crash near Centennial Airport, details are beginning to emerge about what might have caused this Beech P-35 airplane to go down. A preliminary report from the NTSB shows 2 pilots had just taken off from runway 17L when they suddenly stopped climbing.
You can see also from the data that the speed slowed down. So for me, when I first saw that, it was indicative of an engine anomaly or failure at that point. Now the pilots are trying to accomplish a glide.
Flight instructor Greg Feith says in the event of engine failure, pilots are trained to level off and find a clear place to land. But flight records show the pilots made a sharp turn back toward the airport.
They tried to continue that left bank turn to try and return to the airport. Unfortunately, low altitude, low airspeed, they got into an aerodynamic stall. And once you lose control of the airplane from 100 or 200 feet, there is no recovery.
The plane crashed into an industrial park, barely missing multiple large generators. Greg questions why the pilots didn't try to land in the open fields they were crossing over.
If the pilots had leveled the wings, had a controlled descent, they could have used the flaps to slow them down and the landing gear, and most likely were able to put it down successfully in one of those open fields. And that's what they should have done. The curious thing is, with a flight instructor and a rated pilot, why they didn't do that, and we may never get that answer.
Greg says investigators will now take apart what's left of the engine to try and figure out why it gave out. That full investigation could take months to complete. In Denver, Evan Krugel, 9 News.
The Douglas County Coroner's Office has identified the victims as 52-year-old Perry Matt Feeney of Arvada and 64-year-old Lee Rob Hill of Greenwood Village. Turning our attention now to the forecast today. Final weekend of summer is here, and it feels like summer's hanging on. We had sunshine, temps hovering in the low 80s as we slowly move into fall next week. And the mountains are already getting a taste of it. You're taking a look at our Loveland camera earlier today. Rain was falling. We know rain will soon turn to snow at higher altitude, probably, right? Storm chances continue through the weekend in the high country. 9 News meteorologist Corey Reppenhagen is here, shaping up to be a really nice weekend, or as you say, real nice.
Real nice weekend. Yeah, I mean, today was just gorgeous across the Front Range. Live look here outside of Denver. It's going to be very similar tomorrow, but even more sunshine, maybe a degree or 2 warmer. Some clouds in the sky out there, mostly staying in the mountains and the eastern plains. We're in the 70s here across the Denver metro area. Just a beautiful evening. Some rain showers all across the state, kind of sticking mostly to the mountains and the eastern plains. Just a few sprinkles across the Front Range. The strongest storms are down here to the southeast of Denver, down here south of Lyman in a place called Pumpkin Center. You know, I've actually put in a request for 9 News to establish a Pumpkin Center bureau with me as the chief. I haven't heard back. I'll keep you posted, but we always see this stuff out here. Just real nice storms. These are not too strong out there, maybe some small hail. Here's your temperatures overnight. We're going to be in the 50s tomorrow morning, just a little bit warmer than normal. Some low 30s up in the mountains as we get very close to starting to get some snowpack accumulation. We've been getting dustings every here and there, but we're almost there. And these are your temperatures across the Front Range tomorrow. We'll be back in the 80s, a lot of sunshine across the area. We're keeping an eye on a storm system which coming in on Monday, and then we're going to have a very fall-like Tuesday. That's what I'll be describing in the forecast. Just a few minutes, Jenny.
All right, Corey, thank you. Denver police are investigating a deadly overnight shooting today. Happened early this morning on East 50th Place in Denver's Green Valley Ranch neighborhood. Responding officers found a victim that police say later died at the hospital. No word yet on a suspect or what exactly led up to that shooting. Greeley police have arrested a suspect accused of killing an 18-year-old at a skate park last month. Police arrested 18-year-old Logan Dwayne McDowell in the death of Damian Montoya. This happened at Centennial Park. Police believe that shooting happened after a fight between people in a red truck and a gray sedan. They say the suspect drove off in the gray car. Dwayne McDowell is now facing murder and robbery charges. A Denver strip mall is closed now after a fire at a restaurant. South Metro Fire responded to the fire at Gyros and Kebabs on South Parker Road early this morning. That fire caused significant damage to the restaurant, and now the building is shut down. The complex is shut down. They don't have water, electricity, or gas. Nobody got hurt, at least nobody's been reported hurt, and the cause of that fire is under investigation. Colorado House Republicans have now chosen who will serve as the state's new minority leader. Representative Jarvis Caldwell of Monument got the job. Caldwell won 12 out of the 20 votes cast. This follows former minority leader Rose Puglisi. She resigned earlier this week over what she calls a toxic atmosphere at the state ledge. She also says the recent tragedies, like what happened in the Evergreen school shooting and Charlie Kirk's murder, all of this, she said, made her decision necessary. Caldwell's appointment now comes as Republicans are divided on whether to move more to the center here in Colorado or to embrace more MAGA politics.